What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We're back at it again with another video, and as you can see from the title and what's on the screen right now, it is the end of an era. So I'm a little late on this video, but it's something I had to definitely chime in on because it was definitely a part of my childhood growing up, and I just couldn't let it go by without saying something about it. So if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, or if you're just not into gaming like that, E3 is over after more than 2 decades of E3. One of the one bigger than the last. The time is going to say goodbye. Thank you for the memories. Good game, well played. That's from the Entertainment Software Association. So E3, if you don't know, is Electronic Entertainment Expo. It was a yearly event that started back in 1995. Put it like this: the big announcement of E3, one of the big announcements of E3 1995 was the release and the price point of the PlayStation 1.
To ask Sony Computer Entertainment President of America, Steve Reyes, to join me for a brief presentation. $299.
The PlayStation 1, bro. So if you're not at least like shit, if you're not at least like 18, 19, 21, you probably don't even know what the hell a PlayStation 1 is. You probably never even seen one in person. Unless it was like at some used shop or something like that. But yeah, that's just to put in perspective how long this event has been going on. It's crazy. In recent years, I mean, you kind of saw it coming because I feel like the last really good one was like way back in 2017, probably, or 2016, probably. That's when they revealed like God of War.
She taught you to hunt, yes?
Yes, sir.
Then show me what you know. I am hungry. Feed us.
All that stuff, God of War 20, the God of War that would end up coming out in 2018. Yeah, that was probably the best one since, and then since then it's just been on a steady decline because there's been like a lack of interest, like with the internet, and then COVID happened. They canceled the 2021 one, they canceled the 2020 one. They had to. 2021 one ended up not happening. 2022, people started pulling out. 2023, people were pulling out. And it's just like everybody started doing their own thing online, like their own presentations, like the Xbox Showcase. You got the Summer Games Fest with Jeff Keighley. You got the Sony State of Play. You got Nintendo Directs. So those was hitting more so than the E3 was hitting. And now, as a product altogether, obviously it's not as good. It's not as good as E3 was. Like as far as like the product altogether, bringing people together, like the public and the reporters and stuff. But it was useful because gamers, we can get our information from the comfort of our homes. I can just get up in the morning, look on the internet or look on my phone, be like, oh, this new game's coming out, instead of doing it like how we used to do. Because I remember back in the days, like E3, bro, like I was calling out of school, I was calling out of work, and I was sitting home and I was watching. I was on GameTrailers.com. That's not a website anymore, but they do have a YouTube channel. See, launched back in 2002. Like GameTrailers.com. I was on the website every day, like looking at these new trailers that I might have missed. Like sometimes it'd be a time where I got school and I got finals and homework and stuff, so I couldn't call out, but I would run back home and watch. Like I got like old videos from back in the day that I used to do when I used to do YouTube. I did like an E3. I know I did E3 2010. I know I did a couple videos of E3 2010. I'll edit them into the video right here if it does, if I do have those videos. But man, I'll be on screwattack.com seeing what they have to say about it. I'll be on The Escapist reading articles, watching Zero Punctuation as the new games came out. Like, man, like E3 was something else, man. E3 was really something else. And I heard that in person is not all that cracked up to be. I've watched content creators that have went there in person and participated. They said it's kind of a mess because it's just all over the place. It's just too many people. The lines at the booths were too long. That became an issue as well, like having the event in person. Because it's sometimes where they'll let only the press be there, and then they started letting the fans come to E3, and it just was never enough. Like I don't think there's a big enough. Gaming is huge. Gaming is bigger than the movie industry if you don't know. Like so having an event that could contain the media of the gaming media and the fans of gaming, like there's a lot of crossover in between that is crazy. I don't know how they do it. I don't they needed to take hints from like Comic-Con or something, because Comic-Con, that's the only other event I could think of that just gets overflowed, but they just never was able to really kind of get it right after a certain period of time. Like once it got more and more popular, you said it got bigger every year. It did get bigger every year, and as it got more and more bigger, they weren't able to scale out the planning for it. So yeah, that's another reason for its unfortunate downfall, man. But I really miss E3, and I really had to sit here and talk my shit a little bit, because I know everybody's doing a video on it, because it's a very devastating thing. I think the last thing that happened gaming culture wise that was this big, and I think I covered it. I did cover this on the channel. Was when Flash was done, because I thought Flash was something that was going to last forever, but we don't really need it anymore. Like there's people that are reserving the technology, that are not reserving, preserving the technology, which is cool. But officially, there's no more Flash. That died in what, 2020. I'll link the video somewhere here. And now you got E3, another staple of the gaming community, a big event. It might not have been as big as it was in past years. The last one they did was what? Last one they did was 2 years ago, 2021. I don't even remember that. I think it was like all virtual or something like that. Yeah, virtual events include major publishers. I think we might have did a top 10 games from E3 that year, but it just didn't hit the same, because it's like, nah, this is not the E3 I'm used to. I need the performances. I need Jeff Keighley on there, and Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler and all of them people, and all of the content creators, whoever might have been out whoever been out at the time. I need all of that. That's another thing. Shout out to G4 TV. That was another thing that they constantly covered, had E3 covered. They was on the floor, in the studio, in the truck, outside, talking to people, and it was just a cultural event, man. And it was just something that I really do miss, and I'm sad to see it go, and I'm sad to see it go out like that. If it hadn't been for COVID, it may have lasted a little longer, but eventually we would have shifted to where we are now, where people are, getting their information and getting their updates on the phones directly from the developers, and the developers are not holding stuff to the chest for E3. So, man, good times. Like I said, I remember taking out of school, calling off of work and stuff, just to sit home, and it used to come on like 1 p.m. I think, like 1 p.m. or like 3 p.m. Like one day it'd be like the Microsoft presentation at like 1 p.m. on like a Monday, and then it'd be like the Sony presentation like 3 p.m. on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and then the Nintendo one, and then like Ubisoft and developers would come in, and it's like it was a battle of it was a survival of the fittest. It was like all of the bangers that you was waiting and dreaming for, all of the sequels you was dreaming for, all the new IPs that you were dreaming for was coming out, and like you only got to see it first at E3. And if you didn't get to see it at E3, you're on YouTube scrambling for the trailers. Like I remember I even had friends hit me up like, "Yo, did you see the new trailer for such and such?" Crazy. And again, I'd be on Screw Attack, I'd be on game trailers. Man, it was just a really good time. Now we have the Game Awards, which I think is basically the next iteration and the next evolution of what was E3. They figured it out. They've kind of figured it out. It's not a conference or an expo where everybody could just pull up and come in there. It's a show. It's a show. You condense it down to one epic night. That's a show. You put the best games up at the throughout the show, the best games of the year throughout the show, and then you show new trailers as you go throughout. That's where the developers can show their stuff out. That's where those more smaller developers that aren't attached to Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft can show off their stuff. And then you have the, again, like I mentioned before, the Xbox showcase, the PlayStation, Sony State of Play, and then Nintendo Direct. I think it's better. I think honestly, although I'm sad to see E3 go, I think this format is better. Game Awards, Summer Games Fest, each developer's holding their conference. Like Capcom has a holds their own conferences. They have Resident Evil they have the Comcast showcase. They have the Resident Evil showcase. They have the Silent Hill transmission. Like I think that's dope because you could really take your time and dig in and really show the fans, give the fans like a curated experience. And I think that's the way it is set up now, the way we're moving towards in the future. It's just better that way. It's just sad to see something so iconic just go, not only go, but go out like that. So, yeah. But, salute, man. You know, I had to pour up a little something for this. Salute, man, to E3, man. Salute to E3, man. It was good times. It was fun times. I wish I could have went. Like I never was able to go. Like growing up, like I ain't always have the most money, and definitely not as much money as I have now. I just was never able to go. But hopefully they'll bring it back. Maybe like 5-10 years from now on some nostalgia shit. And if they do that, I'll definitely be there. But yeah, I'm over here babbling. I've been ranting. I could sit here and talk about this all day. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Are you do you miss E3? Did you ever get a chance to go to E3? Do you know anybody that went to E3? What was your favorite moment of E3? Like, what was your the craziest game reveal or console reveal that you remember growing up watching E3? Let me know. So, y'all already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out.